Hey everybody, welcome to Reading the Bible to Cats. I just um recorded an entire video and then realized there was something wrong with it, so I had to delete it. So I'm starting over again. Guster doesn't want to work, and so I'm sharing this picture of the kitty who was rescued by my friend. I snapped a picture of him when I was playing with him and visiting with him at her place. And so I thought you would like to just see him during the duration of this video since Guster's not working. I don't know why. He's decided against it. So yeah, let's just pounce on it. This right now, this kitty's going by Fluffy. And my friend found him as she was driving to work. She saw this little orange fluff in the road, and she hopped out of her car in traffic and brought him home and then took him to the vet, and he's fine and healthy, and she's she's keeping him. He's getting she has two other cats, so they're kind of getting used to one another. But can keep this little guy lifted in prayer, you know. But I think she's gonna keep him for sure. Isn't he cute? He was so playful, and he just had like major personality, like main character personality. uh, okay, well, I'm going to read through this chapter again. I already read through it tonight, but I'll read through it again for you all. It's 2 Samuel chapter 3. The war between the house of Saul and the house of David lasted a long time. David grew stronger and stronger, while the house of Saul grew weaker and weaker. Sons were born to David in Hebron. The firstborn was Amnon, the son of Ahinoam of Jezreel. His second, Chileab, the son of Abigail, the widow of Nabal of Carmel. The third, Absalom, the son of Maacah, daughter of Talmai, king of Geshur. The fourth, Adonijah, the son of Haggith. The fifth, Shephatiah, the son of Abital. And the sixth, Ithream, the son of David's wife, Eglah. These were born to David in Hebron. During the war between the house of Saul and the house of David, Abner had been strengthening his own position in the house of Saul. Now Saul had a concubine named Rizpah, daughter of Aiah. And Ishbosheth said to Abner, "Why did you sleep with my father's concubine?" Abner was very angry because of what Ishbosheth said. So he answered, "Am I a dog's head on Judah's side? This very day I am loyal to the house of your father Saul and to his family and friends. I haven't handed you over to David. Yet now you accuse me of an offense involving this woman? May God deal with Abner, be it ever so severely, if I do not do for David what the Lord promised him on oath, and transfer the kingdom from the house of Saul and establish David's throne over Israel and Judah, from Dan to Beersheba." Ishbosheth did not dare to say another word to Abner because he was afraid of him. Then Abner sent messengers on his behalf to say to David, "Whose land is it? Make an agreement with me, and I will help you bring all Israel over to you." "Good," said David. "I will make an agreement with you, but I demand one thing of you. do not come into my presence unless you bring Michal, daughter of Saul, when you come to see me." Then David sent messengers to Ishbosheth, son of Saul, demanding, "Give me my wife Michal, whom I betrothed to myself, for the price of 100 Philistine foreskins." So Ishbosheth gave orders and had her taken away from her husband, Paltiel, son of Laish. Her husband, however, went with her, weeping behind her all the way to Bahurim. Then Abner said to him, "Go back home." So he went back. Abner conferred with the elders of Israel and said, "For some time you have wanted to make David your king. Now do it, for the Lord promised David, 'By my servant David I will rescue my people Israel from the hand of the Philistines and from the hand of all their enemies.'" Abner also spoke to the Benjamites in person. Then he went to Hebron to tell David everything that Israel and the whole tribe of Benjamin wanted to do. When Abner, who had 20 men with him, came to David at Hebron, David prepared a feast for him and his men. Then Abner said to David, "Let me go at once and assemble all Israel for my lord the king, so that they may make a covenant with you, and that you may rule over all that your heart desires." So David sent Abner away, and he went in peace. Just then David's men and Joab returned from a raid and brought with them a great deal of plunder. But Abner was no longer with David in Hebron, because David had sent him away and he had gone in peace. When Joab and all the soldiers with him arrived, he was told that Abner, son of Ner, had come to the king, and that the king had sent him away, and that he had gone in peace. So Joab went to the king and said, "What have you done? Look, Abner came to you. Why did you let him go? Now he is gone. You know Abner, son of Ner. He came to deceive you and observe your movements and find out everything you're doing." Joab then left David and sent messengers after Abner, and they brought him back from the cistern at Sirah, but David did not know it. Now when Abner returned to Hebron, Joab took him aside into an inner chamber, as if to speak with him privately, and there, to avenge the blood of his brother Asahel, Joab stabbed him in the stomach, and he died. Later, when David heard about this, he said, "I and my kingdom are forever innocent before the Lord concerning the blood of Abner, son of Ner. May his blood fall on the head of Joab and on his whole family. May Joab's family never be without someone who has a running sore or leprosy, or who leans on a crutch, or who falls by the sword, or who lacks food." Joab and his brother Abishai murdered Abner because he had killed their brother Asahel in the battle of Gibeon. Then David said to Joab and all the people with him, "Tear your clothes and put on sackcloth and walk in mourning in front of Abner." King David himself walked behind the bier. They buried Abner in Hebron, and the king wept aloud at Abner's tomb. All the people wept also. The king sang this lament for Abner. "Should Abner have died as the lawless die? Your hands were not bound, your feet were not fettered. You fell as one falls before the wicked." And all the people wept over him again. Then they all came and urged David to eat something while it was still day. But David took an oath, saying, "May God deal with me, be it ever so severely, if I taste bread or anything else before the sun sets." All the people took note and were pleased. Indeed, everything the king did pleased them. So on that day, all the people there and all Israel knew that the king had no part in the murder of Abner, son of Ner. Then the king said to his men, "Do you not realize that a commander and a great man has fallen in Israel this day? And today, though I am the anointed king, I am weak. And these sons of Zariah are too strong for me. May the Lord repay the evildoer according to his evil deeds. Okay, everybody, that's the end of 2 Samuel chapter 3. And that's probably the third time I've read it tonight, because that other video, I it didn't record and in the right way. And so anyway, the point is, the point is, isn't it dramatic? This chapter was, I don't know, it just seems like a Netflix series. 2 Samuel. Well, I think there was a series. Actually, there was a series. I don't know what well, it was called The House of David, and I did watch it. But yeah, there's a lot going on here, you know. It's a lot of pain, a lot of violence and murder and struggle and conflict and war and jockeying for position and power and pain and heartache. Huh. But it's, history. Um, I know it's kind of funny. We moved from like sweet devotionals to like, I don't know how one would make a devotional out of this, but I'm sure people have. Now I want to see if there's a devotional on 2 Samuel chapter 3. I'm going to look. Oh, let me see. I'm just going to search for that. 2 Samuel 3 devotional. Let's see if there's, I'm sure there is. Oh, well, there are a few. Let's see. 2 Samuel 3, Calvary Chapel, Palos Verdes, God is in control. That's the name of that devotional. Then there's something from radical.net, delivered from fear, 2 Samuel 3, verse 39. Okay. Well, you can look that up if you want. And then this is, I don't know who these people are, by the way. But yeah, there are devotionals. And there's Enduring Word Bible Commentary. Well, that's a commentary. 2 Samuel chapter 3. Well, here's another one. To be like Christ. 2 Samuel 3 explained, a 5-minute Bible study. I think that's a YouTube video. Oh well, you can look up the commentaries. Way of Grace Church, Buckeye, Arizona. Mirror, mirror on the wall. 2 Samuel 3, verses 6 through 21. Let's click on that and see. I guess I could read a little of this. This is from May 19th, 2013. Way of Grace Church. Oops. The preacher is Bryce Morgan. Let's see. Scandals and fallout. Okay. Talks about scandals. Blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm just kind of looking through this to see. Well, I don't know. You can look it up if you want. I think this might be a little too lengthy to get into right now. But anyway, all that to say, sorry everybody, there are devotionals on it. Yeah, I just think it's life, it's reality. That's I don't know what to say. It was a kind of intense chapter, but let's pray. How about that? As we look at this cute little face looking up at us, Lord, help us to learn what you would have us learn from 2 Samuel chapter 3, and the the history of Israel, basically, and King David, and the historical account that we just read. It well, and it's your word, what you would have us take away from it. Um, and I pray that through your Holy Spirit, you would help me as we read through 2 Samuel to glean what you would have me glean. Help me understand what you would have me understand. I pray for everybody, Lord, who's watching or listening, that you would bless them in a special way. And I guess that chapter is kind of a microcosm of the world, because the macrocosm would be the world and how it does that. It's like that, you know, conflict, war, tragedy, murder, violence, power, and then all throughout that troubled narrative, you're still working out your plan and redemptive history is moving forward. Help us to know what our place is in the grand narrative, in the grand scheme of things. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what my place is in the grand narrative, the grand scheme of things. But pray for purpose and understanding and insight. And I look forward to your return, Lord, for that day when you promise in Isaiah and in Revelation that you will wipe every tear from our eyes, that you will do away with sin, death, sickness, sorrow, pain, all of that, and that those who mourn will be comforted. That's what I look forward to. Until then, Lord, give us your joy and help us to see your goodness every day. And I pray for that, Lord, for myself. And give Henry a hug. And Lord, there are so many people who watch this channel or listen who love animals because they're part of their families, Lord. And then when the animals die, it's so painful. I know you know my heart. And I pray for the people who are grieving different losses, whether it's